person.
Ah,
Hello, hello, hello. I hope it's working. I'm gonna go to Facebook right now, see if it is showing live.
whoop,
It
whoop.
should. It should and should indeed. Oh yeah. I think we're on. There we go. I see us. I don't know. Do you see us? Do you see us on your end,
Hello,
Mamacita?
hello, hello.
I hope it's working. I'm gonna go to Facebook right now. See if it is.
Oh, I hear you. That's
Okay, so what
good.
I know. So what I did is I turned off my Facebook page because I didn't want to background cast,
That's good.
but we hear each other. So happy Thursday.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Yes.
I am Roz Paul, your host, your mindset coach, speaker, and trainer. And I want to welcome you today to this amazing opportunity that I have with Robyn-Ann Lawson Young. Say hi, Miss Robyn. Hey girl, she looking all cute. Lights are just flashing on her and
Ah,
stuff. That's the glory.
don't be
That's the glory.
fooled. Don't be fooled. She's like,
It's the
don't be
glory.
fooled by the ring light.
But we're gonna pretend it's the glory today.
Receive it. I receive
Oh
it.
man, thank you so much for being here. And you know what? I'm gonna start off by off rip saying that I am so thankful for technology. Because like a month ago,
No, it's
I did
true.
an interview with like three women, three amazing women, and I had to set up a spot. I had to make sure everyone was available,
Yeah.
and I bought them drinks, non-alcoholic, of course. But but we sat and we talked, and I had to adjust the video, and lo and behold, several weeks later, I'm here learning that I could sit in the comfort of my home, and you could sit in the comfort of your home, and we could still do interviews. So thank
Thank
God
God.
for
Yes.
technology. So, Robyn, look, today, let me just not only share with you, but I want to welcome everyone that is here listening at this
Yes.
moment, that you are here to just hear about the topic of having easy access to your identity and your purpose. Now, usually I do my live broadcasts on Fridays, and I call it Freedom Fridays. But because this Saturday is my birthday, I am going to be free, right? Whoop, whoop. I am going to be free this Friday to be with my family. But in the meantime,
Yes.
yes, I still want to just connect with number one, Robyn, and I want to connect with the audience and those that are here to hear about just some key traits that are important for them to know today. So hopefully everyone's ready and we're all in and ready to go. And we'll go from there. So let me pull my notes out. I always need my notes. Okay, so I do want to say, I need my notes. I do want to say that any time during this broadcast, if you are here and you have any questions, feel free to post them and we will try and answer them to the best of our ability. This is a conversation, not a one way street, not a seminar, but this is a conversation, right, Robyn?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
please.
So we're here to connect with you and make sure we can answer any questions and just we're here to serve you. We could talk to each other and hear each other talk all day. I'm definitely a talker, but we're here to really serve our audience and to let them know that they do have an amazing identity and they do have purpose on this earth, right?
Yeah, so talk back to us,
So
guys.
yeah, don't be afraid. Jump in there, say hi, wave, be like, yeah, I'm on my couch, jump on. right now. So listen, I'm going to share a little brief story about not necessarily how I got here, but necessarily how I got to the place of just losing my identity. And then we're going to go right into connecting with Robyn. Robyn, you can jump in at any time and agree or disagree with me on anything that I share. So, again, it's not a one-way street. Jump on, say what you'd like, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to just kick it off by just saying that, you know, it's important to know your identity and it's important to know your purpose before you set goals and strategies and concepts and you know all the things that you want to live beyond for in this 2019 year or even in the next 2 years or 3 years. I truly believe that if you don't know you and you don't know your purpose, then you're just floating. You're
Well,
just floating to the next thing, right? And I love when people say we're going from glory to glory, but if you don't know who you are, you won't know your next glory. So, I truly believe that it's important to know you. So let me share a little bit about what has happened to me, at least from the side of identity. I started working in ministry, being a part of ministry several years back, and it was like the dream job. You know, it wasn't something that I planned in my 7 year plan, but I went into it, and though I didn't know it was the dream at the time, it became the dream, right? So I'm like,
mm,
oh my gosh, who can work in ministry and walk life, helping those and ministering to those and connecting with those in the church and get paid for it? What you say now? What you say? But of course, you do it every day, all day, and God blesses you no matter what. But at the end of the day, hardcore cash. Okay. So I went in there, and I shared earlier in a live earlier today that I went in there thinking I was cool. Jesus loves me. I love Jesus. And that's all I need.
well,
And then I went in there and I was like, what is going on here? I started going in that place of comparison. You know,
mm-hmm.
being a ministry leader, especially in the church, it's there's demands that are on you.
Oh, yeah.
Even being in the church, you're like,
Oh,
hey, I think
yeah.
I'm good, right? And look, the Holy Spirit is around us. Our faith is around us. We have all that we need, and we're good. But what I realized is that I started realizing that I was putting myself in a place of comparison. I was saying that I wasn't good enough,
Mm,
speaking these negative thoughts to myself
right.
because I really didn't know my true identity. I really, like, I could say it all day and I can probably
Mm.
keep that front face like, oh yeah, glory.
It's real. Mm-hmm.
But real deal. Um, yeah, I was off. I was so off. And when you walk in that place of ministry, um, I felt a little intimidated. And don't get me wrong,
Mm.
it wasn't the fault of the people, right? It wasn't those that were
Um,
working with me. It's not like they were saying, "Oh, you have to be this way," or "Oh, hey, you need to preach like me or minister to people like me." It's not their fault. Um, what happened is I allowed because I didn't
right.
know my identity
You
and
didn't
I
know
didn't
your
know my
value.
value,
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
funny. You just
I
said word.
didn't,
Mm-hmm.
right, exactly. Holy Spirit knew. Um, I allowed people around me to dictate my identity.
Right.
They may have known themselves. They know them, but I didn't know me. And because I didn't know me, I was trying to be like them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening after some time, unbeknownst to them, they didn't know at the time.
Right.
Um, Well, they're going to know now. But unbeknownst, to them, I ended up having like an identity meltdown
Yeah.
while working at the church. And praise God that the people that I was connecting with were amazing people. They loved on me. I was able to love on other people, but it took a
Yeah.
process. It took a process. You know what I'm saying? And then I figured out how to do an identity check by checking your vital signs. That's
Mm.
what I called it. And vital signs stand for something. But the first letter of vital signs is value,
Mm.
knowing your value. And then, of course, knowing your interests, knowing your temperament, knowing your, I'm going off the top of my head here, knowing your around the clock, the time of day that you function better,
Mm.
knowing your life mission and your life goal, and knowing your
Come
strength.
on.
You know what I mean? So once
Mm-hmm.
I did my vital signs,
Right.
then I was able to walk in my identity. And then I was able to understand my purpose and walk in that. And then more people were blessed, not only those around me, but because I knew me and
Right.
I loved me and I knew what my ultimate purpose was, I was able to be that much more better. And here I am today.
And appreciating you. And then it also gives others the permission to do the same for themselves. That's the beauty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Not being afraid in where you are to be you. Does that
Right.
make sense? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be fake. I didn't want to be
Right.
like one way in my group of community and another way at
Another
home
way.
and
Mm.
another way at work and another way out in a grocery store. I wanted to be me all the time. And you know what I
Right.
realized too is there's a lot of people today that says, "Well, I'm real. I'm me. That's who I am." But a lot of times they take
Mm.
that and use it as a reason to express their anger.
Yeah. And hurt.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Well, I got to be me. So does you got to be me? Do you? Excuse me. You wanting to be you, does that mean you have the opportunity to then criticize those that are around you, or even criticize yourself, or even, you know, um, just be so brutally honest that you're not sharing from a place of love?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're not really loving yourself. So,
Right.
biblically, if you're a scripture or faith based person, you'll realize in Matthew 19:19, it talks about loving your neighbor as much as you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, it's kind of hard to be you. It's kind of hard to
Mm.
walk in that place of your identity and then go towards your purpose.
Right.
So, yeah, I shared I didn't share my values. But at the end of the day, I could share that later. But overall, all of that, all of who I am was pieced together by loving myself, knowing that I am loved
Right.
as well, knowing that because I am loved and I know that I love myself, all that helped me to find my identity. And now it'll help us to then walk in our purpose. So as we talk about purpose, Robyn, I want you to just share just a little bit about you and how you got to where you are, and kind of share a little bit about how you found your purpose and why you feel it's like important. Identity, I feel identity is definitely important and first and
Right.
foremost. And then once you find your identity, you need to start walking in your purpose.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna bring
Right.
it over to you, my dear.
Not a loaded question at all.
Not at all. Oh my gosh, I'd be like, oh, that's why I have you.
Hey y'all. So I'm Robyn-Ann and I'm so excited to be here with Miss Roz. We've known each other now. I don't even know. It's been a few years though, and I feel like I've just
Yeah.
always admired your joy and just your warmth.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
You're
I'm
so sweet.
really, I'm really glad that there was a quick reconnect on social media.
I know.
I know, and so I was like, oh my gosh, Miss Roz is doing this. So
And I
I'm
was like, there go
really,
Roslyn, like. There go Robyn, like. Where have you been in my life?
yeah, that was me. I was like liking stuff on her page. I was like, yes, yes. Because again, just seeing people come alive, walking in what
Yeah.
they do, it's just, yeah. So hi guys, like Ross said, I am Robyn-Ann, and I myself currently am a author and a speaker to Christian women, and really I do focus on helping us take bold action in our purpose and our passions and our prayers. Because, like Miss Ross, I'll dig into a bit of my background a bit. I grew up in the church,
Hmm.
um, love the Lord, all those things. But a lot of times, for the majority of my young adult years at least, I felt like I did not have the practical side of faith. I felt like
Right.
I heard a lot of messages about faith
Right.
and running with God, but then the practical steps, the works that are needed
Right.
to be paired with faith,
Right.
um, were missing for me. And so it really led to in an attempt to become what you see. So you're seeing these powerful people who are
Right.
speaking, these strong faith messages and declarations, and that
Right.
all is good and that all is well. I definitely fell into this place of people pleasing,
Mm, yeah.
um,
Yeah. Understand
and
that.
just wanting to look like, yeah, I mean, not even wanting to look in a way. I did know that, yes, I love the Lord. I wanted to please him. I wanted to become that woman that was just, represented him well. I wanted to be that woman that, when people saw me, they saw somebody who was a good representation
Right.
for, Jesus, for the church, for Christianity, for these things. Good intentions.
Right.
However, again, without real practical ways to do it, kind of just put on this facade and adopted what you just saw other people doing. And kind of like
Right.
Ross mentioned, picking up other people's identities and picking up other
Mm.
people's, purposes and plans for, my life. And then it really got me in a place where I felt really isolated, because that's the thing. Even when
Mm.
you're doing all these things, inside, when um, you're not being you. You're not
Yeah.
being you. So you're
Yeah.
being a lot of things to a lot of people, and
Yeah.
they're happy about it. They may even think you're happy about it. But inside, I became just very depressed. A lot of people wouldn't even have
Mm.
known. And then from, I would say, from that just place of people pleasing, not being authentic, being kind of isolated after you leave the crowd, and being by
Yeah.
myself, not feeling like I really connected with people because I wasn't being myself. I wasn't showing them the real me,
Right.
my true desires, my dreams. And throughout my high school and college years, that just led to so many other, what do you call it? You start looking the what do I call it? The
Like
pleasure and
validation
the
from others.
validation and the intimacy that should come from you walking in your purpose and in your authentic self. When you're
Yeah.
not getting that, you seek it out in inappropriate places. I'll
Yeah.
say that. When you're
For
not
sure.
getting it by just, in healthy ways,
In healthy
without
ways. Yeah.
realizing
Yeah.
it, you seek it out in unhealthy places. And so for me, throughout my high school and college years, I started, struggling with pornography, with um, just a lot, just depression, which I already mentioned, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that were just silent, just really led from, you know, I think already practicing that habit of not sharing how I was really feeling. And
Yeah.
so once other desires started popping up, because I felt like, well, I don't know who to talk to about these things. I don't know who to talk to about wanting intimacy and lustful thoughts. They say just don't do it. Just, for example, with sex, just don't do it. No
Yeah.
practicals to go with it.
Or they,
Um,
yeah, they don't tell you why. They don't tell you that it's a
why?
good thing. There's a whole
How?
chapter in the Bible about it, right? They don't
Well,
they don't teach you any
right. That these
they don't
things
teach you
are
the healthy
good, but
part. When I
how do
say
you?
they, I mean like the church community, at least in our
Right.
upbringing.
Right. I
Um,
think the church has
no,
gotten a
no,
much
you're
better.
not you're not taught those things. That doesn't mean it's a
Right.
bad thing to be in church, but at the end of the day, you have to know truth about what God
Mm-hmm.
says that you are, and that you can be open in a safe
Right.
place, in a safe
Right.
atmosphere to discuss those things
Right.
that maybe we weren't in that safe place or understood what that safe place really looked like. You know what? I did, Robyn-Ann, I
Mm-hmm.
did a live. I think it was a live. I don't know. I'd be popping in and out of this thing um, about knowing our upbringing of our
Mm-hmm.
identity might have been from a place of people that didn't know their identity and their purpose.
That's true.
And it's not that they didn't love you, and it's not that they didn't
Right.
care for you, and it's not like they didn't want the best for you, but at the end of the day,
They can only share what
because
they themselves know.
right. So they only taught you according to where they were. They might have
Right.
been in a place of poverty mindset. They might have
Right.
been in a place of being a victim mindset, um, being in a place of whatever happened to them.
Right.
They may have carried that over
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, mentally, physically, financially
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
into their children, whether they knew it or not.
Right. Right.
You know, so
Right.
now when you figured out that you weren't walking in that place where you knew there was more, like you knew there was
Right.
purpose, there was more to it. Like, um, how did you know it was time? How did you know it was time to
Well,
kind of shift?
right. What I was gonna say, because I was just gonna say, sadly, I didn't until I hit rock bottom. It's not
Mm,
till really getting to a place where I realize, okay, what I'm doing is not working. I just, in my depression, just stopped doing well in, classes, stopped socializing. Just so many things started
mm,
hitting just a downward spiral that I was like, I don't know how to get out of this. And it just made me look, it finally made me actually, it forced me to be authentic, to say, I am doing something wrong.
mm,
And so that just forced me to be more open. I think too, I need to look for how I need to start taking care of me. I need to look for what is actually happening that's causing me to turn to these things. And naturally for me, because thankfully from my church upbringing, I really knew that God was someone I could turn to say, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I need you to redirect me. It really started there. It started with a prayer that, okay, God, I obviously am I need help. Like I need help to get out of these habits of pleasing other people, and now I'm just not happy. So
mm,
in doing that, thankfully, and just being open in general, I think I was also now more open to asking people for help, for turning to community. So that's why I was
mm,
even saying, kind of like what you just said, a lot of times it's not even that the church wasn't even providing some of these things. I think we create these false masks because we think we need to please people in a certain way. And
right,
if we
right.
actually become authentic and open and say, actually, this is me, you're surprised at how many people are there who say, we love that Robyn-Ann. We
Yes, yes,
affirm that Robyn-Ann. We see
yes.
so much in that Robyn-Ann. And that's what happened. Like just me turning to people and, really start sharing the things I was struggling with, the things that I felt weak in, the things that I didn't know how to practically get out of.
Yes,
That prayer just wasn't doing it, and I really needed people to help walk me, through
through it.
getting out of some of these things. I mean, community opened up, truth opened up, Again,
Oh yeah,
truth is always there, in the word or even just in practical principles that from reading books and things like that. I started seeing now um, just the truth and the benefit in being my authentic self, in looking to what were the things I actually did want to do well, what were the passions I was suppressing that caused me then to turn to unhealthy passions for pleasure? What
right.
were some of the things that actually do get me excited, that I do well, that I was repressing, that made me turn to these just
Other
these
things. Yeah,
right, like thinking I need to please people because I didn't understand my own value and my own thing, my didn't appreciate the things I did well. So that begun the journey of establishing that identity. I really just started soaking up from just so many sources. I think, like I already mentioned, just to throw some out for people who may be in that place, you know, uh, if you are already spiritually sensitive and have that relationship with God, turning to Him, starting
yeah,
there, but then practically too, turning to people, finding a few people that um, are safe places or who love you, and you may
yeah,
think they won't understand, but just test it and really just open up to them, and you'd be surprised how they'll really validate where you are and support you where you are. Two, just starting to read books for people who are in that position and got out, or
yeah,
videos, or we live in such a culture now with all this influx of information, but sometimes we're distracted by things that don't
yeah.
matter instead of
Because there's
actually developing and pouring
yeah,
into, yeah,
you can go to, and being careful with that. Whether
yes,
you're in faith or not, being careful what you pour into yourself and what
right,
you put out.
right.
Um,
Look for
I
the
know.
fruit of their lives.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
would
yeah.
say
Don't
that
judge, but look at the fruit.
you got to look
Don't
for,
judge, but look at
right,
the fruit
look
because
at where they're really
their
headed.
fruit is what is pouring into you.
Right,
So
right,
I think
right.
that is so important. I totally believe in that, and I agree with you, Robyn. Community makes such a big difference.
It really does.
During my season of transformation, I had a couple of amazing adopted sisters, if you will, that
Right,
kind of helped walk me through the changes that I was going through because I was a
right.
little weak. You
Yeah,
know, I was a little weak. I wasn't sure if I was sure or
right,
am I doing the right thing here? And they're
right,
like, yes, yes, this is okay. You're okay. And I
right.
needed people around me to tell me that I was okay. It was one thing to read it, it was
Mm-hmm.
one thing to sense it, but it was another thing to hear it physically,
We're
to say,
created for that,
Rosalind,
right? Community
you're okay. It's
experience.
okay to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's awesome is even when God brings twins on this earth, no two
Yeah.
people are
No.
no two people are alike, and we're each called to different things on this earth. So my next question to you, Robyn, now is why do you feel people don't walk in their purpose right now? What do you think
Right.
holds them back from walking in that?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's, even as we mentioned, I think we just touched on, okay, how to find your identity. But sometimes even after you find your identity, you can be still afraid to share that. You still can be
Yeah.
afraid to share you, because you think one, maybe people won't appreciate it. You don't see how it's going to benefit other people if you
Mm,
just share you and share what you do well. So I think a lot of times we bury that, or we don't see where our story, we're still afraid. It's like even if we've come out, we still are afraid of that's sharing that story, because I think our purpose is made up of quite a few things.
hmm.
I think your purpose is made up of a bit of your story and your past and your experience that you bring to the table, some of your skills, um,
Yeah.
some of what you just do really well and you do effectively because you were wired to serve people well in that way,
Yeah.
and kind of what God has for you to do. I think all those things make up your purpose. So I think a lot of times when we're ashamed of pieces of that. Like we're
Yeah, you don't
ashamed of
want
our
them all.
purpose, right? Or yeah, we just don't want to. And I know for me that was a big thing because even after I had found my identity, I was afraid, for example, of that part of my story where I struggled with pornography because I thought church girls don't have that part of their testimony.
Right,
And so
right.
I wanted to hide it. And to come to find out when I finally shared that and found out how many women were so impacted by that and also being set free that someone was talking about that, that
Yeah,
actually ignited a piece of my purpose. I mean,
yeah,
it was crazy how me seeing how much the enemy wanted to mute me on that was
yeah, yeah,
also muting a lot of other women. It made me all the more say, well, in like
yeah.
I don't
Like,
know, like I refuse it all the more. Just ignited that passion in me to serve more women and reach more women and let them know how, one, there's a way out. Two, there are practical things that you will have to do. It's not just prayer.
yeah, oh
And
yeah,
three,
oh
I
yeah.
mean, just that there's community and there's another side of them that they really need to see. So I think that's one reason why sometimes people don't walk in their purpose. You're sometimes still afraid of a part of you that maybe you've embraced, but you still think other people won't appreciate. I think, I mean, some of the other reasons, there's so many, but sometimes too, it's so simple.
Yeah.
Because purpose doesn't come as this big booming voice from heaven most times. A lot of
Yeah.
times it
You can
really
say it on the
just,
campus, take some time as you're walking through it.
yeah,
As you're
it's
walking through it, it's now you can go from that place from glory to glory. There's a reason why they say glory
right,
to glory, because you might have
right.
to start off small with once you find your identity to identify
Mm-hmm.
um, what those key traits are that are happening in you.
Right.
It's not that you came out knowing, bam, I'm born. I know I'm going to be a speaker. I know I'm going to be a teacher.
Right.
I know I'm going to be a, this is what I'm going to be. Apart from what your
Right.
parents told you that you're going to be, right?
Right.
And I learned, Robyn, as you speak about those things that kind of
Yeah.
prevent people from walking their purpose, I learned that through the process of healing from intimidation, that there are certain people that are assigned to me. There
Right.
were certain people that you were brought on this earth that are waiting on you to
Mm-hmm.
speak out because they're
Mm-hmm.
assigned to hear from you.
Right.
And when I figured that out, I was like, well, where are they? I was
It's
like,
so
hold up, wait a
freeing.
minute.
Right.
Like, so, like, are they going to bust out at my door and just be like, okay, Roz, I want to hear from you? Or are they going to call me? Like, what does that look like?
Look like, right.
But at the end of the day, the more I was authentic, the more I just walked
You
me.
attracted them.
They
Mm-hmm.
came. They came
Right.
from the north, south, east, and west, from
Right.
places that I didn't even know existed, from
Right.
people I didn't even know was listening and watching,
And
and
being
not
impacted, right, by you.
but you are being watched. So
I'm
they may
telling
not
you.
say nothing, but at the end of the day, you're being watched, good, bad, or
Right.
ugly.
Right.
So when you walk your purpose, no matter who's watching, um, be confident in it, and
Yes.
know
Because,
that
yeah.
yeah, you got to give yourself permission to walk it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and the past is the past. Like um, I did a quote the other day. Of course, when I don't have my notes like laying in front of me, I guess I got to be real now and not go off of a prompt here. But I got to be for real, for real. But you know, just letting go of the past. Um, being content with your present and looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to your future makes such a big difference.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just because you're content today doesn't mean that's where you're going to stay. You know
Right.
what I mean? So when people go from that place where they don't want to walk their purpose, like you mentioned before, Robyn, sometimes they're just scared. They're
Mm-hmm.
just scared to walk in it or to take that leap.
Right.
or to do something different and not be a robot.
Right.
And just be you. Just be you. And God put you on this in this place because there's something in you that I need. Like
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
I
It's
needed you,
important.
Robyn.
Yeah.
Like I
Someone
needed
needs what you have. Yeah. And
you
sometimes I
know,
think we don't think so. We really don't think it's that important. We think, how important can it be? How important can I be?
very,
Um, right. And when we don't
very.
seriously, when we don't take that seriously, I mean, you bury that purpose. You bury it deep, and you think, well, at least I know who I am, and God knows who I am, and that's all I need.
And that's
But
enough, right?
and it
No.
isn't, like, you are
Yes.
holding back the answer to someone else's prayer when you don't walk
Yes.
in who you
Yes.
are supposed to be, when you don't offer what you've been given to share.
Yes.
Yeah, you seriously hold back someone else's freedom, even. You hold back,
Yes.
like, we're such an important part of a bigger picture and the
Yes.
pieces of someone else's life. So,
Yes. Of each other. Oh my gosh. I love
hmm
this. I love that. Okay. So, moving forward, this is some good juicy stuff, Robyn. I love this. Um, what are some brief keys that people can use to start finding and walking towards their purpose? Like, what are some things
right.
that you did? I know you mentioned having the right community around you, um, maybe trying some new things. But share with
Yeah.
us what are some things that people can do after they've kind of figured out at least a piece
Right.
of their identity or something has been exposed to them, something that lit up inside of them. Like before you answer that, I'm going to share. I always have stories
Yeah.
for dates, but I want to share this story that I think will play a good factor right now
Yeah.
before I get this thing out my ear. Um, my back. Ah! Okay,
Oh no.
so back in 2011, um, uh, our local church, Abundant Life, woo woo to
Yeah.
Abundant Life, and
Yay.
they had asked for us to do a love and activation church wide. They had
Mm.
said, we want the whole church to go out there and do something for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be mowing their lawn, it could be loving on someone, buying lunch for the person behind you, whatever that looks like. But
Right.
I want you to go out there and do something for someone else. And they called it love and activation. And I was just doing my day to day life. Okay. I was working in a
Mm.
law firm. At the time I had 4 kids. Did I
Yeah.
have 4? Yeah, all 4 were out. And and I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I had people around me that were asking like a trillion questions about life. I don't know. I was doing life, but people were
Mm.
asking questions about life. So I was like,
Yeah.
what? Me and a girlfriend got together that year and we
Yeah.
said, you know what? Let's bring them to my house. Let's just answer all their questions in one shot. I don't know if you want to call that love, but we want to love on them. Let them bring their kids
Yeah.
to my house. We will babysit them. We'll get someone to babysit them in the back room and we will feed them and we just want to love on them and we will get them gifts and just give them things
Mm.
for them to feel special.
Yeah.
Like just don't come for and I mean they were just so curious. Like they would call us in the middle of the
Mm.
night for these crazy things. But at the end of the day, they launched this at Love and Activation. Okay, and we opened it out to some people that we knew to come to my
Right.
house and let's just connect. And I had at least like 15 girls in my living room. I don't know where they came from,
Mm.
but they
But
showed
they
up in my living
came.
room. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them had children, and and I had them RSVP. This is when like Facebook was just
Mm.
coming out and stuff like that, I guess. And they came, and some people within the church found out that I was having these girls over my house. And
Right.
so a group of women off to the side decided to, you know what, we're going to go shopping for these girls. What are the ages of their children? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just know they have kids and they're going
Right.
to bring them to my house. So I started doing research. And
Right. I don't know, but
um,
I'll find out. You're right.
hey, well, I'll figure it out. I don't know. They're just coming to my house, but this other group of women decided to go shopping for the moms and their children. So this one thing opened up to be this broader thing that caused
Yeah.
a body of people to come together to love on them and to pour into them and to show them the love that they are loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
End of the day, this whole day went on and it finished and it was fabulous. Just cries, tears, happiness, joy
Yeah.
happened in my living room. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to handle this. And then I was like, okay, we're done. And then 2 or 3 days later, they called me and they said, Rosalind, when are we doing this again? And I was like, what do you mean, when are we doing this
Yeah.
again? Now, I'm just doing what my church told me to do. And it did not say to do
That's
it twice.
funny.
So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have a
so
similar
I was
story.
like,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do with this? So, in the midst of me walking my life in a law firm,
Right.
attending church, following a simple direction of just loving on someone, it
Mm-hmm.
revealed a piece of my purpose. And now today, what year are we in? 2019 now?
Yep.
That's
Look at what
2011.
you're doing. Mm-hmm.
I had several gatherings in my house. Many women have been saved. Lots
Right.
of lives have been changed. And I don't know what to tell you. I'm here today because of one step that
Mm-hmm.
I did. Though many people are called, not everyone will answer the call. We want
Right.
you, women and men, whoever is watching, to answer the call. So
And
now
it's
I give it
funny.
back to you
No,
again.
but your story was perfect because um I feel like you gave the story, so now I can just give the practicals. But
Yes,
sometimes I just throw out a few things for people to do, and three of the things I was going to mention, I feel like your story had all three. Because
no,
sometimes I just tell people three questions or things to look at. Like one of them is, what is something that people are just always coming to you to ask your advice on? And you said
yeah,
people are just always asking you life questions. Like they're
yeah,
just asking you that, and so you're like, come on over. But
yeah,
like that is a big indicator. Sometimes other people can see what we don't even see yet in ourselves. And
yes,
so
very,
like really just pay attention to what is it people just always come to me to ask about. Like that's
yeah,
like a really good indicator to just start looking at it and then owning it and being more intentional with it and start seeing where that leads. So that's
yeah,
one. Another one is what do you do sometimes just for free, like without even thinking about it, not looking for payment or anything. You just do it just to because you just feel like it just comes up in your heart to do it for someone. And like you said, you just thought of let me just get these girls over and just do this. Not my job, not,
yeah,
something that I feel I have to do, but just something you wanted to do. And so that's
yeah,
another second one that I always say is a good indicator of a lot of times what you have been wired to just naturally do well and how you've been wired to serve people. So that's
yes.
the second one. And I feel the third one, why am I blanking out? Oh my gosh. I think it's what why am I blanking out? But and I think it was like a lot of times just what do we kind of just daydream or do
Yeah,
when we're not on our jobs? Because
yeah,
sometimes, yeah, there's the job of what I should be doing, and then there's what do you kind of just escape when you're not working, when you're not on your supposed job? What is it that you still just think about, daydream about? Oh, I remember it. So that's three. That's a bonus. But the one I really wanted to see, and now I blanked out again, Miss Roz. I don't know if it's the newborn thing, guys.
oh
I
my
just had a
gosh.
6-week old. Forgive me. I
Oh,
just
oh
had a
yes,
newborn.
she's a new
I'm
mom.
I know I'm gonna
There,
blame it on that because I literally just forgot it again, which is so frustrating.
well, you said daydream.
I
And
did. I said daydream, and then something you said triggered it, and then it's gone. It's gone. Watch, it's gonna come at the end.
do, and what you would do for free and not think about, or you would just do it just for the hoot nanny of it.
I
Um,
know. I don't even want to linger. I'm trying to.
so I'm bad at it too. That's why I have to have notes, girl, because I know my head.
I know, but when you spoke, like three things
I
came. But it's not any of these things. Oh well. No, but I
well,
feel like those three are really good things that um they really help a lot of times just show you things that you are ignoring.
mm,
Um but they mean so much to, to someone else, and they mean so much to those around you. So
yeah, I love it. I love it. You're speaking such truth right now. Um, and I truly believe that if you embrace who you are, and walk in it, other things will come out of it in time.
right, right.
I've had to really, really learn as well, Robyn, to be patient with myself,
Mm-hmm. It's a
through the
process,
process,
like you said.
you
It's a
know,
process.
because I did it for like 2 years after doing the one time. I kept
Yeah.
doing it every three or 4 months. We kept meeting with these girls who kept bringing more girls, and then I was called into ministry. But I tell you what, while I was in ministry,
Yeah.
it was just burning inside of me to go out there and reach out to more girls. It's not like I wasn't reaching
Mm,
people within the
yeah.
church. Don't get me wrong. And
Yeah.
I believe that I was there for a season.
For a
But
reason.
at the, yeah, at the end of the day, though, each moment that I daydreamed, I thought
Mm.
about connecting with those that are outside of the four walls,
Yeah. Yeah.
and what that looks like. And these gals that came to my house for whatever reason was afraid to come back into the church, whatever reason it
Mm.
was. And God had prepared me,
Yeah.
um, in that season, being in the house, to handle what was going on inside of me as well. Not only me helping them, but they were helping me to prepare
Mm-hmm.
myself for when I went back out there. So all of it was a process and giving myself
Yeah.
the grace to and time to do it. And two, understanding the meaning of grace. I was taught this, that grace is not mercy. Being
Right.
able to do whatever you wanted to do without working for it. Grace is having the ability
Right. Empowers you.
that God gave you to do
Mm-hmm.
what He called you to do in the time, place, and location that He called you to do it in.
Right.
So that is the meaning of grace.
Right.
People flip that around a lot and make it interchangeable with mercy, and that's not the same. So,
It's what
Robyn,
empowers us.
you're awesome.
You're awesome.
I keep telling her this, and I'm like, you are truly awesome
Oh,
because you are a woman that walks purpose, and you're a woman that teaches how to finish, how to start that purpose, and how to finish that purpose. Did you guys know that
appreciate.
she's a coach as well? I don't know if you know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, she's out there coaching women. Do you do men
I
too?
do. I do. I
You men?
don't.
You
I
don't? Okay,
don't
so
do
it's okay.
men. I
It's
always
okay.
say if my husband, because I feel like he's a natural coach, just doesn't know it yet, that part of him. I always say, I,
He
I
is.
feel. So
He is.
sometimes naturally we, yeah, coach men, but no, in my business side, I just focus on women.
Okay, okay, but she's a coach, y'all. You
Yeah.
can reach out to her. We're both coaches, and I help you take that next best step in your life, and I help you to be you. I help you be your authentic self and walk that unforgettable life and non regrettable life and forward thinking life and whole, happy, and successful. And then I will carry you over to Robyn, who will in turn help you walk that purpose. Once
Help
I get you all
you
excited and be like,
right.
beat
Help you
you. And then
practically
she's gonna
finish.
set you up and she's gonna make you finish it out. Be like, all right, Robyn, these are my plans. And she'll be like, all right, this is what you need to hone in on. Finish
Right.
this A, and then we can go to B and C, and she will hold you accountable to it. She will uncage what is
Yes.
inside of you. I love that term, uncage. Ever since you promoted that, ever since you kind of posted it up, I'm like, yes,
Oh man,
I
yeah,
am
I know.
free.
Another piece of my testimony. Just oh my God. When you just realize how much is in, and this is just for people who are saved, when you just realize what comes with salvation is just the
Yes,
free completely.
yes.
Oh my God, you just feel so uncaged. It doesn't matter what society or culture or
It
anyone
doesn't
says.
matter. Why?
You,
Because
ha-
you're walking with freedom and peace. Your
I'm
your
telling you,
your happiness was not based on an exterior um, success or job or wealth. Your
right.
wealth was peace, which
That's
made you
it.
uncaged.
That
So as soon as you
that's
just
it.
like,
So I know I just love reminding, yeah, I love reminding Christian women because I think too I was someone who was a Christian who was still very much so caged, very much so bound up. So I like reminding us, like, hey, don't waste grace. Like you said, grace is what empowers you to do so much. Don't think it's just what covers you from when you mess up. So I like reminding people, no, 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 no. Don't waste grace. You have been empowered to do so much.
yes,
Let's not waste it. Let's yeah, be free to step into it.
yes, I
Yeah.
love it. So listen, let's we I know we got to wrap this thing up because people need to go to bed and so do I. These looks don't come out of just makeup, but lots of
Get the
makeup.
beauty sleep. Get the beauty sleep.
But Robyn, can you tell people a little bit of how they can connect with you? Wait a minute. Before they do that, let me
Yeah.
share before we wrap it up. Look, guys, we're going to be at a workshop. There's a workshop
Yes.
that's happening in like 9 days. T minus
We forget.
9. Hold on. Where are my fingers? Where
No.
are my fingers?
One more. Boom.
9 days. Wait, they're 9. There we go. In 9 days, and I would love for you guys to be there. I only reserved 30 seats. I do have them being taken by the wayside, but I would love for you to be there. And we're just going to have you work on
Yes.
you. We want you to
You.
work on your identity. We want you to work on your purpose. We want you to know who you are and whose you are you and learn how to love thyself. Like, be jealous for you. If anything, invest for the sake of you. Why? Because those that are around you are also going to benefit. When you leave that workshop,
Hmm.
you will not only be lifted and excited and confident and be like, okay, I know what to do now. I know where to go
Right.
now. I know the steps I need to take. But those around you are going to notice a difference.
So,
And you're not going to take
mhm.
no for an answer. So I totally want you to take the next best step by registering for this workshop. I'll have it posted on my page as soon as I figure out how to do that from this technology here. But I'll post it. If I don't post it right away, which I will, you can go to eventbrite.com and you could search for um, free to be you, easy access to your identity and purpose, which is really long to try and find. So I will definitely post it on my site. So you can just click on the button and just register. It is $75 for one person, and it is $50 if you go with a friend. So it's better just grab a girlfriend and split that money in half and make it work. Both Robyn and I will be there. She is one of my special guests. I have another special guest that will be there as well. But Robyn is just going to hone in on more steps that you can take on to walk that place of identity. And remember, we're still growing, but from the
Mm-hmm.
place that we are right now, we want to make sure that you are walking your best life, that you are being whole, that you are being free to be yourself, and that you are being happy and you're being successful. So, at this point, Robyn, go ahead and share how people can get a hold of you if they want to connect with you prior to the workshop.
Yes, so you guys could find me at my first name.com, robynann.com, ROBYN dash ANN.com. Or even for this, if people are really like, I really just need some more on purpose, um, I did it on purpose.com. At the very bottom, there's a free just challenge to help you just walk out your purpose, just to help you figure out some of the things we talked about here, some of those
Good,
questions. Yeah, and to
so
just
good.
prepare you for coming into that workshop. Like, I really need this, and to really come on in empowered. So we want you at the workshop though, because that's where
Yeah.
you
Oh,
really are going to leave with so much more. Like, we have things to give you, things to pour into you.
yes, yes. I realize that though we see things on television, it's just like going to a service. Like when you watch church on television,
Mm-hmm.
not the same like being there. And it's the same thing when you're at a concert. To watch a
Right.
concert on television, the same feel that you would get, that electricity, that
Yes.
vibe, that connection, that fun,
Yeah.
that like screaming, pull your weave out kind of excitement that you have, whether it's a concert or in service. Yes, weaves come out there too.
It's not the
You can
same.
the being together and doing things live and in person is so
Mm-hmm.
much more impactful than not physically being there. So I want to wrap this thing up by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Robyn,
Thank
for taking
you.
time to be here with me and sharing with my audience. You are phenomenal and amazing, and I can't wait to do the workshop with you. So much fun, live music, great
Yes.
prizes, and she's going to be looking cute and hot with her new mama self.
I'm
And
good.
I love it.
Trying.
But we're gonna come together as girls and really have a blast. So
Yes.
thank you so much. Any last words that you want to share? Oh, I forgot to ask you. Rapid questions for
All right.
Robyn.
All right.
Okay, what books or what is the one book that you are reading
Mm,
right now?
that is a good
Apart
point.
from the
Right.
Bible.
I'm so bad because I'm one of those serial readers. I kind of pick up and put down books as I go. But the book right now that's really keeping me really focused is a book called Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. I think more
Ah,
people know him by his book,
yes.
The War of Art. Pretty much how to
Okay.
really discipline yourself to get your art done. This is just the next level of that, which is how to really, with purpose, how to really not get so emotional about it and really just become
Mm,
professional at it, where whether you feel like it or not, whether you're feeling the butterflies about it or not, you just walk in your purpose and the way that you've been wired to serve people well. Because when you do, that's when you start seeing it unfold more and more and more. And you really start seeing how many people it impacts, even when you don't think it's important, or you don't
mm,
think you feel like it, or you don't think you have the time. When you just become a professional about it, like, this is what I'm wired to do well, I'm going to own it and run with it. Just the benefits of that. So that book has been really powerful.
well, I
It's,
need to add that to my list. Hold up,
yeah,
wait a minute.
it's a quick read, very quick, very simple book, very small. I don't have it
It's
here. So yeah.
okay. Quick and easy is good. Quick and easy is good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just need something short and sweet to the point. You know what I
Right.
mean? To
Right.
hit you every word.
No,
Some
it's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be long for it to be powerful. You know
Right.
what I
And if
mean?
they want a
So,
long book, Believe Bigger by Marshawn Evans is another one
oh
that I'm
yes,
reading. So
yes.
that one's also
Now
really
that
good for purpose and open up your mind to believe,
powerhouse,
and be confident in what you have inside of you. So that's another good one for purpose and identity.
powerhouse. I love that book. I think the whole world has it. This girl is on fire right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my last question to you is, oh, now I forgot my question.
Oh
Isn't that a hot
no.
mess?
Don't
Oh,
do it.
my
I'm
question.
sorry. It's me.
Fault.
My brain has infected you. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'll make it a rapid anything you want to say. Is there any last words you want to share with the audience? I'll make it that question.
I think it's just really, I think I want anyone who's watching this to really not sleep on this year for 2019. That realizing when you're not walking in who you are, you waste so much time, you waste so much resources, um, you waste so much of you and your confidence that you're looking for. It's gonna come in your purpose. The provision you're looking for that you think you don't have, it's gonna come when you tap into your purpose. So to
Yeah.
just really remind you guys that everything you're looking for is really just packaged and waiting for you in your purpose. And so that's why we really want to see you at the workshop. So come on out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, Robyn, again, thank you so much for being here with us. And I'm just honored and just thrilled that we were able to do this together, and that you're just here. I'm just thankful. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience, for sticking it out with us and hearing just a prelude to what you're going to hear and experience hands on at the workshop. Be sure to register, be sure to connect with us. Like me, like Robyn, check out her out on her page and Instagram and everywhere you could find us. We're here. We're
Yeah,
here for
we're
you.
here.
Guys, God bless you. And I want to say Roz Paul and Robyn-Ann Lawson Young is signing off. Okay. I am your mindset coach, your host, your speaker, your trainer. And we're going to say adios.